Pisces, happy August 2017. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. This is darkdove. As I've told every sign, I'm late. My parents came in town. It's a pretty big deal that I spend a lot of time with them. It was not really last minute, but I didn't have enough time to plan to get all the videos out before they came. I even took time off of my 9 to 5. So, as you know, I always pre-shuffle the cards. I'm going to give you a fair warning that there is a major thunderstorm going on outside, which is my absolute favorite weather. So it makes me think maybe there's some luck in these cards tonight, because I absolutely love a good thunderstorm. Kind of refreshes, makes everything smell good. If you like that, some of you may not like it and prefer, you know, ravaging heat. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I love a good thunderstorm. I think it clears the air, clears the mind, sets everything at ease to a certain extent. So with that being said, it's really loud, and I have the door closed, the windows closed, etc. And it's been thundering, lightning coming in. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to talk extra loud. I'll have people occasionally tell me that the sound is off on my videos, and I go back and listen to them fine. So I think it depends on what device you're listening with, whether you have, you know, a headset on or earphones or whatever you want to call it these days. So keep that in mind, especially for this video, because I'm not sure. It was some hail mixed in there, and it all started when I started turning on the camera to film this. So who knows? Stormy seas or inspiration coming to you, Pisces. All right, so again, August 2017. As you know, I move pretty fast because I have a lot to say, a lot I want to get out without taking up too much of your time. I've expressed the past few videos, so I'll probably express it one more time, that most of my reads now are for singles and people looking to reconcile, generally for singles though, because those tend to be the people who contact me, who want private reads, etc. So obviously I'm going to tailor this to people who are watching. Any likes, comments, subscribes are always appreciated. If you want a private read or donation, information's in the description. Again, this is general. Check your sun, moon, and rising, because sometimes those videos might resonate with you more. So here we go, Pisces, at the sound of thunder. Let's get started. All right, so first card is always your current position coming into the month, and you have the Four of Wands. So this is actually pretty positive for anybody who's single. This is about happiness, resting. So this kind of tells me that you're coming into the month dating, but it's not like a top priority. Or if you're starting to date, you're like easing into it. You're not rushing into anything. I don't feel any like frantic anxiety of gotta find the one, gotta find the one. This is just kind of like calm, cool, and collected. You know what you want, you know what you're looking for. So you're gonna take it easy. You're gonna find, you know, the best dating site that works for you, or the best, you know, genre, or however, if you're doing meetup groups, if you're going to the grocery store and striking up conversations with random people, or going to church, or whatever you do to get that done. This is about stability. So I feel like if you're not dating, you're starting to approach that point. Although I feel like a lot of you have already, you know, kind of gotten over the hump of, should I date? Am I ready to date? Because you're feeling very stable. You kind of feel like you have your ducks in a row, not just financially, work, although a lot of that seems to be stable with you, Pisces, right now. It just kind of feels more, you're in a good headspace. You know what you're looking for, so you know what craziness to avoid. You're not going to deal with any bullshit. But at the same time, you're not pushing anything. You're just kind of perusing, seeing what's out there. If you're looking to reconcile, this doesn't... So there's two things with this if you're looking to reconcile. This is resting. So this tells me that some of you are kind of figuring out what you want with the other person. But this is also first completion. So I feel like maybe some of you have reached out to somebody, or they've reached out to you, and you're feeling like, okay, we're on to the next step. Not necessarily on the right path, but maybe things have stabilized out in your life or their life. It seems like there might have been some chaos before, and if things are kind of evening out. So if you haven't contacted them or they haven't contacted you, there's going to be a feeling on either your side or theirs, or maybe both, that you're both in a position to where you could have a reasonable conversation without too much drama. The next card you have is your internal, so your anything that could help or hinder coming into the month, but kind of how you're feeling internally. And you have the Three of Coins. So the Three of Coins is coming together. It's about working together. It's definitely teamwork. It's about being satisfied. So I really feel like Pisces, you're just kind of on an even keel for the majority of you. Obviously, some of you may have some work to do to get there, but it's like that's your focus. You can see things kind of clearly. So the Three of Coins is saying, okay, well, you want something stable. You want to date somebody who's good for you. You know, singles are, they want to find something that's satisfying, that's fulfilling. And that's what this is. And it's kind of like you can see clearly the direction you want to go in order to make that happen. The direction you want to go in order to get what you want. It's like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This, again, the accomplishment of this, I feel like the accomplishment aspect of the Three of Coins is like you're financially stable, or your work-life balance is kind of in a good space right now. Of course, it's never perfect, right? Because none of us are ever perfect, and, you know, one shoe drops and the other one, whatever. But it's like you're feeling positive energy, and there's like a flow, and you know that there's something out there that you can find. There's this happiness, kind of just this serene, I got this. I can do this. I don't need to rush into anything. I don't need to, like, worry about the drama. If there's any drama or chaos, just, boop, nope. Take a bath, light some candles, right? The Three of Coins, if you're looking to reconcile, is kind of pointing in the direction that maybe you are in a good headspace to reconcile. Maybe you have just connected, or maybe you are going to contact them, or they you, and I think that it might be positive at this point. I mean, obviously it's too early in the spread to know either way, or to really like see if there's anything coming in that might hinder it. But right now you're kind of feeling satisfied with what you've accomplished, and you're feeling like if you do come together, it would be like a team effort. It wouldn't be one side going, well, you, and the other side pointing fingers too. It would be more of a, all right, this is what we need to work on. If we truly love each other and we want to be together, here's what we're looking at. And let's be real about it. Let's get to the nitty gritty. And there's no animosity. Everything's kind of calming down. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past few years, you know, could be relationships ago. So this card I usually read together for singles and anybody looking to reconcile. And the Four is all about being a miser, being impoverish, and being frugal and jealous, and or, you know, it doesn't even have to be about jealous, although it does have a possessiveness about it, but it's about and again, so I bring up the past because this is something that may be coming into play this month. You know, there's so many traits and personality traits that you or your partner or your ex possessed, or there's so many things that everybody's been through, right, for the most part, in relationships. And so every month I bring this up because it kind of maybe touches on something you're remembering, or you're feeling, or you're avoiding, or you're wanting to find that happened in your past. So the Four is telling me that a lot of you have experienced extreme poverty, maybe living out of your car, homelessness. Maybe, you know, this was young. Maybe this was when you were young and you watched your parents struggle, and you've kind of aimed at the, I'm not going to go through that, or I'm not going to put myself through that. Could be that an old relationship left you in poverty. Maybe they took everything you had. Maybe you got divorced and you were left with horrible credit. And I mean, I've heard horror stories about, you know, things like that, or people who've been through those situations. So the Four definitely tells me that some of you are kind of like feeling a little bit like you need to be locked down and careful and frugal with your money, but also frugal with your heart, because some of this is metaphorical. It's more not about poverty of the wallet, but poverty of you gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, right? And you didn't get anything back, or you feel like you didn't get anything back. And so you're kind of feeling like, I've got to be pretty particular about who I give love to. And this is kind of reminding you that to get love, you have to give love, right? we can't get anything in life if we don't give something back, whether it's volunteering, whether it's love, whether it's money. There's always like that cycle, right? Or karma, or whatever people want to talk about. But you always put out in the universe what you want to get back. So whether you're single or looking to reconcile, don't be possessive with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your heart, your money. And even if you have suffered severe poverty, or you've watched, parents divorce over money, or you've divorced over money, or you maybe didn't have money for a long time and you remember what it was like to feel that struggle and that strain, and you don't want to do it, don't let it control your possible outcome. Don't let it control your future, because, there's positive things coming. So you want to keep this calm mindset. And I really strongly believe, Pisces, that card is there to remind you that you can have a peace, a serene, and don't let the past totally negate what your future can hold, right? The next card you have is the immediate past. So the past few weeks, and you have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, it's so interesting because a lot of signs are getting swords and wands, and you seem to be following suit with everybody else. So the Four of Swords is about recuperating, exhaustion, and rest, which ties very well into the Four of Wands. Ironically, for some reason, I'm thinking that there might be a 4 theme here, 4, 4, and 4. So maybe in 4 months, 4 weeks, 4 days, something significant could be happening. And I feel like it's positive because you're in this calm mindset. Because the Four of Swords, again, in the past few weeks, tells me that some of you maybe dated for a long time and you gave it up, and now you're kind of like, I'm ready to do this again. I'm zen. I'm in a good space. Whatever it is. I just feel like you're kind of like, okay, I've been stabbed at and I've struggled, and now I'm doing good and I'm accomplishing things, and I'm feeling like I'm in a good headspace and I'm where I need to be successful in a relationship. And that's definitely a good thing. Again, this is telling me that something has triggered you needing to take care of yourself. If you're single, it may just be gearing up for dating, or it may have been a break you took for the past couple of weeks from dating, and now you're coming into it with a mindset of, I don't have to find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right tomorrow. It can happen over the next few months, and I'm cool with that. It's good, but I can't fizzle out. I can't let myself get to a point of, chaos, being completely overwhelmed. And so I think the past few weeks you focused on figuring out what you want, maybe moving a different direction. If online dating didn't work, or meetup groups, or whatever you're doing, you're coming up with a new solution. And that's extremely positive. If you're looking to reconcile, something has triggered. Maybe there was chaos, or maybe there was like a negative, because coming in as a 4 tells me that you've calmed down, you're relaxing, you're in a better headspace, you're feeling like you could compromise and work as a team. So the Four of Swords is saying that you've taken much needed rest. Maybe there's retaliation. Maybe you guys got downright stupid kid drama, like acting like a couple of teenagers back and forth, texting, joining dating sites so that you could put it in each other's face. I feel like some real negative energy in the past between you two, and maybe just some game playing. Like, I'll show you I can date, and now you're kind of like, okay, what are we doing? This is stupid. Let's get over it. Let's stop pointing fingers. We're both to blame. It takes 2 to tango, and you've rested up. Some of you were just downright exhausted. I feel like some of you, blocked the exes or blocked communication and just said, whoa, I need to take a break from this because it's mentally, physically, emotionally exhausting. And maybe that's what you've been focusing on the past few weeks. The next card you have is your your distant future. So this is over the next few months, not just throughout August. And you have the Five of Wands, which is kind of surprising because this is about a little bit of chaos. So I feel like you're calm, but over the next few months you might find chaos. However, what's interesting is I think you're resting up to be able to deal with this. Okay, immediately it screams that you're like, I've been through the dating game. I've done this. Maybe you did it 6 months ago. Maybe you did it a year ago. Maybe you did it 2 years ago. You're resting, you're relaxing, you're recuperating from life in general, and now you're ready to get in the chaos. Because the 5 doesn't have to be chaos as in negative. It's about prioritizing. It's about saying, I'm ready, universe. Let's go. What do you have? Come on, I can take whatever you give me. You want me to date for a year and date scumbags and date, you know, like deadbeats and date alcoholics or drug users or whatever the case may be. I got this. I can sift through the bullshit. I've got my priorities straight. I know what's important to me. I've got it figured out what I'm looking for and what's important to me. And that's all that matters. And so you're kind of like, even though you're gearing up for what might be overwhelming the next 3, 6, 9 months. And now there's the 4s. So I'm either getting 4s or maybe 5 months, 5 weeks, whatever it is. This is your distant future. So I feel like you're going to meet somebody incredible, but it's going to take some time. You're going to have to sift through. It's like a numbers game. You're going to have to date a lot of people, kiss a lot of frogs, and figure out, you know, what's going to work best for you. It's also a competition. So I think that some of you are going to feel like you're juggling a lot of people. You're single. You've got a lot of opportunities coming your way. There's going to be a lot of potential suitors. And so even though this card reads competition, I feel like it's not your battle to win or your competition. It's like people competing for you, which, I mean, roll with it, Pisces. Like, what's wrong with that, right? If you're looking to reconcile, I get the opposite. I feel like this is chaos in your priorities. Your balance is going to be switched way off. I don't know why, but I feel the next few months, maybe ending what you're looking to reconcile is going to be a good decision, which seems to be an overall theme with a lot of signs this month. I don't know if it's an August thing or if it's just, you know, because of the planets. But this tells me that you may be better off deciding to do something else. Again, how I was talking about the games and like whatnot, I feel like maybe it's going to revert back to that. And you guys are going to challenge each other and it's going to become a competitive field. And in the end, it doesn't make anybody feel good. I mean, right now, just thinking about it, my gut is like, ugh. Really? I have to see him on the site or see her on the site, and what are we doing to each other? But they're being nasty, so just, don't do it. Move on. If this is what your future holds the next few months, don't. Cut it off now, so that next month you can see a totally different future. The next card you have is the immediate future, so over the next few weeks and in August, and you have the Page of Cups. So this is about innocence, childlike. So this is telling me if you are single, you are kind of approaching it in, let's start over. Let's try this different. I know nothing about dating, but not in a naive way of really knowing nothing, more just, okay, let's pretend I've never tried online dating it before. I've never tried meetup groups before. And I'm going to start it off as, you know, new beginnings and starting over and recreating something special. And again, this rest, these, you know, calmness and rest that you've been getting, I think is gearing up to going, okay, I know I want to date somebody. I know there's somebody special out there for me, but I'm not sure what the best plan of action is. And now I've taken time to think about it. I'm in a good headspace. I've accomplished a lot. I've gotten my ducks in a row, so to speak. And so now I can come into this with more emotion and less chaos and drama. Not that you've created the drama, because Pisces are not necessarily drama-fueled creators. It's more you're going to avoid it. So you're only going to get emotional when it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. Like, you're not going to let little things bother you. This is also childlike, so I feel like over the next few weeks, maybe you're going to be looking for suitors that you could see yourself having children with. Or you're going to be looking for suitors who have kids because maybe you have kids and that just works out better for you. It's definitely a positive card. It's about changing your behavior, changing your atmosphere, coming in with a whole new attitude. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel a little different that this may be about focusing on children or family and figuring out how you need to disconnect from your partner with keeping your family happy or focusing on your family. And for some of you, I hate to say it, but you know that if you got back with this person, it would be a very negative impact on your family. And you're looking at it like, I have children. I have things that outweigh what value this person brings. And not because they're a bad person, and not because you didn't love them at one point, or not that they don't love you. Just what's important and what's positive. Do you want to spend the next couple of months in chaos trying to figure out what they want, trying to figure out the games, the competition, the battling back and forth? Or do you want to move on and focus on what's going to make you happy, your family happy? Even if your family consists of pets, but it's like there's some sort of aspect here that's not working. And I think you're going to have to focus on not letting your worry of reconciliation or this other person or any games that may be going on or whatnot affect anything, any potential that you have in your future with somebody else who might easily bring a positivity to what's most important in your life. The next card you have is future external factors. So anything that's tangible throughout August. It could be beginning, middle, end. You have the Two of Wands. This is a very positive card because this is about you're looking forward, looking at your future. So if you're looking to reconcile, honestly, I'm going to start with you. I think this is you setting goals, planning for the future, and unfortunately, I don't know that it's going to be with this person, but it's really weird because I've said to a few signs, you know this, and I kind of feel like Pisces, you know it too. Like, what are you doing? Like, easier said than done, right? I know that, believe me, of all people, I know that, but I just feel like for whatever reason in August, the cards are saying, take a chance on you. Take a chance on you. And just enough. Enough is enough is enough is enough is enough. And you don't want to be in that game anymore. And I kind of feel like whoever your partner is, man, would take you for one hell of a game ride if you let them. And I think you know it's time to make a decision. Now, if you are looking to reconcile and things are going positive, because I'm sure that some of you are going to be like, Dark Dove, you know, everything's positive and we just got in contact and I love this person, then you are setting goals. You are planning for the future and you're doing it in a much better headspace than you were before. But my honest reaction is move on. Start making plans and goals that make sense to you. If you're single, that's exactly what you're doing. If you're single, you're going, okay, what do I want in life? Do I want kids? Do I want to move to Alaska? Do I want to... I mean, there's so many possibilities, and I feel like this month you're saying, okay, I'm in this really good headspace. I'm ready to take the bull by the horns. I know that there might be some chaos coming up, but it's good because it's like, you know, priorities and knowing what you want and getting rid of all the crap. And the two goes along with that so well because it's saying, yeah, okay, there may be chaos and things may not be perfect and you may have one hell of a ride, but you know what you want. And the next few months you're going to be planning work. You're going to be planning life. You're going to be planning kids going back to school if you're here in the U.S. You're going to be planning all these things, but you're looking forward and in a positive light, in a whole new beginning and new priorities, knowing what you want and going for it and getting what you want and having reasonable expectations. The next card you have is future internal factors. Oh, I love the Nine of Cups. So this is how you're feeling. There's going to be ups and downs this month. I'm not going to lie, but you're going to feel like this, you know, on and off throughout August, which is definitely a positive. So if you're single, this is about bliss. This is about feeling fulfilled, finding pleasure. So very interesting because I said the bath and like candles. I feel like this is going to be sensual for you. Not only sensual, I think there could be some positive outcomes for a relationship more than just lust. But I think this is going to be almost a sensual, physical that you haven't had before. Maybe it's more about you accepting your own body, loving yourself, you know, inside and out, and therefore being able to accept somebody else loving certain attributes about you that maybe you've been insecure about. And I feel like somebody is I see this person just jumping up and down going, yes, yes, finally, finally, I love myself. So I know somebody else can love me too, because that's super important, right? So if you're single, this tells me that you are sooner than later going to meet somebody that's going to make you feel, not make you, because, right, we have the ability to decide how we feel in certain situations, but that's going to encourage you to feel blissful. That's going to encourage you to feel pleasure, and pleasure like you've never felt. Pleasure in eating an ice cream cone. Pleasure in taking a walk that you haven't felt before. Some of you may have met this person, and therefore that's where this calming sense of accomplishment and being able to, you know, do whatever you can or whatever you want. But the 9 is really going to shine, and it's going to shine from within. So you're going to be putting out this energy into the universe that maybe has been a long time forgotten. And I think you're just going to feel really amazing. I think it's going to feel amazing to know what you want and really go for it. And not, you're kind of like, I've dealt with the bullshit. I'm done with the bullshit. I know what I want. And you're going to see it, and you're going to feel it. This month, Pisces, is going to be about feeling an incredible energy. If you're looking to reconcile, the first thing I think is, this is bliss. And what's really hard about that is that you're going to come to a conclusion of whether you're going to stay with this person or not. And whichever direction you go, it's almost going to be immediate. Like, you're going to know this was the best decision I've ever made. So whether you reconcile or not, it's not up to me. It's not up to the cards. It's up to you and your partner and the universe. And, you know, ultimately, you have the ability to seize the opportunity of being with that person if that's what you really want, or changing, looking forward, making plans, and going in a complete opposite direction. I feel like this card says, whichever one happens, it's the right way. And some of you may not want to hear that, but it is. It's like, but your gut tells you that. You're Pisces. You're very intuitive. You're like Scorpio and Cancer, extremely intuitive. So you know. You're sitting here watching this reading going, I know. And so you know. So whatever's going to give you this feeling, do it. And it may take you reconciling with that person for a week or two, or even a few days of conversation to go, nothing's changed. Or to go, I absolutely love this person. The next 2 cards you have are your hopes and fears for the month of August, and you have the 5 of Cups and your outcome, which is the 6 of Swords. All right, so your hopes and fears, honestly, and again, this is internal, but the 5 of Cups is sadness, grief, solitude. It's being by yourself, and it's loss. So it doesn't always have to be that way, though, because a lot of us need that in order to move forward. If you're looking to reconcile, this pretty much says to me, you're going to have some emotional roller coasters. You're going to have to deal with some things, and you're going to have to move on because, I mean, this is loss. And this is loss of a friend, a partner, a lover. But I don't see it being negative because I think, again, whatever decision you make, this 9 is waiting for you. So, yes, do I think that you're going to have sadness? I do. But I think it's going to be more sadness that it's finally over. And that at one point you loved this person. But I think, really, Pisces, that some of you are going to be grieving the fact that you waited this long to take care of yourself. If you're single, this tells me, and again, this is all internal, but this tells me that you are worried a little bit. You're worried about this 4. You're worried about, it's almost like you're feeling like a perfectionist. And Pisces are not necessarily a perfectionist. If it was Virgo or somebody, that would make complete sense because they're very, like, they like things a certain way. Pisces do too, but not to that OCD effect. And I'm not saying Virgo's OCD, but they can be. But the 5 of Cups is telling me that some of you are kind of fearing like, I don't want to be alone, but I don't want to pick somebody that's not good for me, and I'm worried that I'll be in solitude, that I'll never find my matching partner. Like, here they are, or I can feel them right around the corner, but I'm worried I'm never going to find them. And you've got to get over that. This is you internally saying, what if I never meet anybody? What if I'm alone for a long time? Do I have the strength for the ups and downs? Do I have the strength to know that I'm going to get there? To know that I am capable of all these wonderful things? To know that I'm in a better headspace and that somebody out there is going to make me feel like this? Don't resort to this. Don't allow that feeling to overwhelm. I think that comes too with, just water signs in general, and having such an emotional, being such emotional beings that it's like, if something doesn't work out, it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you allow that negativity to kind of come in, and you're fearing like the worst, that you won't find it, or that, you'll lose something good that's positive, that it's almost like it's too good to be true. So don't do that to yourself. Again, this is all internal. You have the ability to turn that around and to feel like this. I feel like you'll feel like this part of the week, and then the next week you might kind of feel like this, excuse me, and it'll be kind of like up and down. And that's okay, because you can deal with it. You're strong. The Six of Swords, so again, everybody's getting these swords and wands and swords and wands. It's like a lot of stabbing, sharp energy. But the Six of Swords, so if you're single, this is telling me retreat if the chaos ensues in the dating world and you can't handle it. Because I feel like some of you are going to have some intense, overwhelming experience, but they're not negative necessarily. It's just you're going to be balancing all these other things, work and family and kids back to school, or, starting over dating. Could be that you took a 2-year hiatus and now you're doing it, and it's going to be a little overwhelming. The Six is saying, take the break and get back here with the candles in the bath if you need to, or the long walks, or the bike ride, or the hiking. Whatever helps you get to a peaceful mindset, take that break. The Six says retreat when you need to retreat. So if you're single, let's say take 3 days on an online dating site and 4 days off, or vice versa. Take 4 days on and 3 days off. Or meetup groups, or if you're in, a religious, if you're like, Catholic and you're in a Catholic singles group, whatever it may be that you're doing, make sure you can, fly the white flag and say, okay, I give up for a minute. It doesn't have to be giving up completely, but this is also about travel. So it's saying, take a staycation if you need to. Get away from home. Take a hike. Take a walk. If you live near the beach, go to the beach. If you live near the mountains, go to the mountains. If you live in the desert, take a hiatus in the desert. Make sure that whatever you're doing and whatever you're going to pursue dating-wise, or maybe you have a few partners you're talking to, or a few people that you're going to start dating, make sure that you allow yourself. It's just saying, make sure you take care of yourself. Dating can be hard. You have a lot to look forward to, but make sure that you don't let it consume you. Especially if, you have to kiss 10 frogs to meet one decent person. Don't let that create a negative experience for your dating life this month. If you're looking to reconcile, the Six of Swords is retreat, retreat, retreat. So, unfortunately, like I said, it's the running theme this month. If you are looking to reconcile, I really think this is saying move on, go. And it's weird too. I feel like you're going to get like a taste of somebody who treats you really well, maybe haphazardly, maybe, just out of the blue. Somebody even talks to you, at the grocery store or something, and you're like, wow, people are nice, people are good, people do treat other people good. And I think that this is telling you to abandon what's going on right now. And if there are games being played, or if there are things that are not, positive, get out of that headset. Get your mind, body, and soul out of that, and go out here. Make plans, make goals, look forward. Even if you just need to take a break. Even if this is saying, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to deal with you. You communicated with me, or I communicated with you. It doesn't look good. I thought it was because I came in here all calm and cool and ready for the team effort, and then things get kind of a little crazy later on. take a break. If you're meant to reconcile, you're going to reconcile. If you're meant to take another chance, you're going to take another chance. The universe isn't going to dangle a carrot and then be like, oh, it's now or never. I mean, yeah, there may be times where you deciding to take a break or a reprieve is going to set that out further. But look, what's meant to be is going to come to fruition, right? So you need to also heed the warnings that I talked about with singles and take care of you and make sure that you're traveling if you need to travel. And even if it's traveling out of your own headspace, do what is good for you and what's going to be positive for you. Really feel like Pisces, this reading is saying, you know, take care of yourself. Get some rest. Have some fun. Date. Or, you know, plan for your future, whether it's reconciling or not. But don't let things overwhelm you. Because for some reason I'm getting this strong sense that next month you're going to need all the energy you can get. Ooh la la, maybe it's something really good. Okay, alright Pisces, have a great August, and I'll see you in the middle of the month. Bye.